Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace, and in this video I'm going to talk again, speak on this topic about the fleet of drivers for these gig work. I'm going to talk about the food delivery, food, groceries, this kind of thing. And I've seen over the years people talk about that people have these, somebody has an account and they let several people use it. My personal experience since July of last year is that what I've seen is, it seems like, now I don't know any of this for certain, so it's fiction until I know for certain, but I have a pretty good suspicion, reason for suspicion. But what I've seen, I think that it's a fleet of cars that somebody, to start off with, somebody has a fleet of gray, four-door, older model, inexpensive, that's another word for cheap, not in the greatest condition, because they're older ones, cars, sedans, okay, four-door. And the people I have seen, actually Saturday, today is Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. But Saturday, I saw they were like out in droves maybe that day. I don't know. But within an hour, I think I saw actual delivery people. I saw 3 or 4 within an hour. Okay, at a pizza place. Never seen them there before. Never. But I had never delivered there myself from there. I think maybe with that location, it was that day. That's why I was there. But I have delivered from another location. Anyway, I've seen, how many would that be now? 6 people that are delivering. I know for a fact they are delivery people. And, pretty sure, one of them I'm questioning, but I think so. Anyway, and the auto, the sedan that they're driving does not fit them. All of them. It just doesn't. Whatever they're driving, they're all the same. Like I said, they're I described sedans, gray, four-door, etc., inexpensive, all that. Doesn't fit them. They seem more like upper middle class, and those sedans do not at all. They seem more like cars that somebody just nobody wanted to buy anymore. you might pay even if you would pay that like $1,000 for them. I don't know how much old sedans run these days. But you get the picture. It just doesn't match. And I've been doing since July, but I think I really started to notice them. Maybe, I don't know, I can't even say. It wasn't right away, but it was just maybe sometime this year. Yeah, started to go, that's weird. I keep seeing these, and this is Texas, and that's not very common. And then one day I was talking about that just that Saturday, and a bunch of cars that were that kind of car drove past where I was sitting at the Kroger over here, the Kroger store, and I had to laugh. I mean, what else could I do? I'm not saying all of those were, drivers, but some of them could have been. So it was just funny. Okay, just for the record, mentioned I'm in Texas. It's 1:23 p.m. and my car says my SUV says it's 88 degrees. Our high today is 90. This is pretty much more norm than spring was. Winter and spring, pretty cold. But anyway, lots of rain lately. Tomorrow will be out because it's supposed to rain all day. Let's see if it does. But anyway, to go back about these cars, can they have a fleet? Well, I finally decided to look it up to see if, first of all, fleet was the right word I should be using. And when I asked Adam, he says, said something, he said in the sedans, and I had not been using sedans. I call them cars. So I'm trying to use sedans, but anyway, yeah, I question what good would it do anybody? How does it work? I mean, I have driven up to some of these cars, seen them at a light. We're both at the light right next to one another. I look over, like to my right, to my left, and I can see that they have whichever, or there was even to the right, whichever app that is local here. The local order that they have here. The big ones or the small ones, I can see it. But how many of them allow that? Say that it's okay to do that. I'm seeing a weird shadow, and I hope it's not smoke. Yeah, it's because I'm sitting under a tree. Never seen that before. But anyway, real life happens right in the middle of a video, right in a video, anywhere. Really. But anyway, I looked it up. Okay, the sedan. Can you have a fleet? See, because when I started last year in end of July, I looked it up to see if somebody could go with me, and that would be Adam. He's a little older than I, and I just wanted at first somebody to be there for me to check it out. Basically, is it safe to do it around here? How does the app work? He could help me and all this kind of stuff. To see how it works, and that kind of thing. And he wanted just to get out. He's an electrical engineer. He's way up there. He works remotely from home, and he just doesn't get out. So, during the day, like he used to when he was working, before 2020, and when he worked outside the home. So he goes with me, every blue moon now. But so I looked it up to see, which app says it's okay and all that kind of stuff. They have more than one. They have several around here. And this is north of Dallas, northeast. But, and one of them said, yeah, you can, at least one of them. One of them that I really wanted to check out, they said, yes, you can. And you can even, but one of the things I realized right off the bat was that these can be meant for other countries. They're not necessarily meant for here in the USA. So, I never really trust what I read online anyway, so it's one of those, maybe. But if it's okay, if it's not okay, whatever. But anyway, who knows what is the truth. Getting support and getting answers is quite difficult sometimes. At least is what I've seen of any of these that I've used. And then I looked, anyway, so I looked up the, is there a fleet? Can you have a fleet? Because I was looking up the word fleet. And it said, yeah, but when I scrolled back up, it said some other country. Don't remember which one. It begins with the letter A. Don't remember which one it was. I think it was the country. Anyway, I'm like, yeah, see, that's what, I know that it's not always for this country or whatever when you look it up. But it said that people can join the fleet and all this stuff. Well, what I'm seeing, I am fairly certain it's a fleet, because it's not only the ones I've actually seen get up in those I just mentioned, and I have seen get out and get the orders and see them have the orders and see them use the apps. There are other ones. I can see, like I said, just sitting right next to me on the at the light, whichever side, or I just see them drive by and I can see the thing. For a lot of people have that, I know, for their cell phones. But yeah, like a guy who drove up to me in a different one. He's looking down at his passenger seat. The seat. He apparently doesn't have the mount or know how to use one. I've been making videos with driving since my original channel, almost 10 years. So August will be 10 years that I've had that channel. I started doing that not long after. But this, by the way, this mount I have, I need to get another one yet again. So I only recently bought this. I don't like it, this one. It's not good. But anyway, because they changed the laws, by the way, in Texas of where the mounts can be, and now I have to get used to this. Anyway, but the whole thing I've mentioned this about, I feel like this is a test market and everything. So is this something they're testing out? Because like I said, the autos, they're bad. They're probably past their prime. They're not like when I was growing up, kind of that bad. They're not that old. But I think it was probably right before or right around when most cars were kind of computerized. I don't think that they are. I think that maybe barely around then. They're not new. So anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this part up. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye. Okay, this is one of the neighborhoods I like to deliver to. Deliver there, especially delivered to one of them. I just now did another delivery to this one house. They pay really well. Yeah, it was not from this town. This is part of Plano. It's a city to itself, but it was from I guess it's actually considered Allen, that part, and it wasn't close, but they did well. And but I like the way the houses are. I don't know if you can see them. So great, but I really like them. They're more like townhouses, I would think, or houses. I don't really know. Anyway, I've been doing pretty good today. I only done 2, but they weren't cheap ones. Okay, my hand was kind of wobbly on that, but I was making a video and I was saying in it, I said in it that what's next, because I think this is a test market. I could be totally wrong about that. It just seems like things hit here first, and then I hear people, like it could be a month or so later, they're talking about it, making videos about it on YouTube and such. And but I've experienced it here first since last July when I started, end of July. Like I said, nobody is saying it until later on. But I was saying that, what's going to be next, because I've had several, a few things that I hear, like I just said. I experienced first, then hear a month or so later. But I said that, and then all of a sudden, there it was, a new one. But okay, now I don't know if anybody's experienced this. I've experienced this while shopping, doing shopping videos, of course, but not exactly the same. But anyway, it's that I've picked up an order, this one that I just delivered, and it had one of those, what are they called, QR or whatever? I don't even know what they're called. QR code or something like that. I had to take that, a picture of that, or scan it. I scanned it. And it gave 2 options. Scan it first. And it was a restaurant. It was a Chinese or something like that restaurant, and I had to scan that. I never had to scan a receipt before. That's what it was, to scan a receipt for food. I had to do it for other things, but not food, restaurant food. So maybe, I don't think I've heard anybody say that, anybody. So we'll see. But I've also mentioned the ones that were throwing off grocery deliveries for, they call them packages, and instead they were grocery bags filled, and it was very, very cheap for the mileage, cheap all around, like $4 or something for 6 bags of groceries. They were calling them packages. I didn't take any of those. And other things, several things that I've seen tested. Anyway, I'm going to try to, right now it's 2:44 p.m. So I'm going to try. Today I said, well, Adam had gone somewhere and I had to wait for him to get back home. And I wasn't able to leave until 1:15 or so. And so I just figured I'll do like I used to do the, off hours, not the dinner run, not the breakfast run, not the lunch run, but in between them. I mean breakfast, lunch, dinner. I wouldn't do those. I would do it around them. And I would make a lot more money than I have this year. Because this year I've been doing those runs. No, today I decided I'd do this, and so far it's been better. So, wow. But we did pretty good the other night, though. He just goes with me because he wants to get out every once in a while. So, anyway, I'm going to try again. Okay, that guy over there in that car, I don't know what kind that is. I'm not sure if I'm right on this one. But I passed by him. It's a silver. Doesn't really look silver in this, but I passed by him and he was doing stuff on his phone, which he could be calling somebody, texting somebody, whatever. I have a feeling he's a driver. Might be wrong. Okay, now what was I saying? That about A new thing might possibly be that you have to scan the restaurant food now, the receipt. Now, why would that be a new thing? And if you've had it in your area already, let me know. Leave a comment. I hardly ever get comments. I've been doing videos on my original channel for 10 years. It's not anything about this kind of stuff. But I hardly ever get comments. I kept getting those really, those very annoying comments by bots and stuff this was a few years ago. And at that point, I decided I would turn it to where I have to check I have to be the one to say if that comment can be seen by the public or not. What do they call that? I don't even know what they call it anymore. I mean, that was years ago. And since I did that, I don't get comments. So, I mean, I'm talking like one, maybe as little as one a year. So, I have more than one channel. So, and one of them gets a lot of views. I don't have it monetized. Maybe I should consider that. Yeah. But that guy's still sitting there. I wonder why. The guy in that car, he was sitting there playing with his phone. He was probably around my age. But, yeah, because that's why I'm suspicious. But I've talked about these people, various people, driving the 4-door, silver gray, older model, inexpensive 4-door sedans. And they do not, the person does not fit the sedan kind of thing. Like the sedan is really cheap. And the people, the way they dress, all different types of people, they look like upper middle class. So the two don't seem right. And I've called them a fleet of delivery people. Not for just one app either. Seen lots of them. Actually seen them, been in the same restaurant with them, standing next to them. This kind of thing. So seeing them drive up. Different kinds of things, scenarios. Since July of last year. So, a pretty good idea. Anyway, I'm going to try to get another order at least. Okay, I decided no. My phone, once again, my phone went out. The Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on. We had a really bad storm one day, and it knocked it totally off. Mine is like I think everybody does. They're traveling around, and yeah, that guy's still sitting there. It's interesting, but you're traveling around, so they've called it so many things. I had my first cell phone over 20 years ago. Never been without one. And they've called it so many different things. For a while you actually had to have a boy. Whatever. You had to have a actual different device, and that was your, what do they call it? What did they call it? And that wasn't too long ago either, your hotspot. And to drive around with that, and then they would charge you out the wazoo if you went over a certain amount. Mine doesn't do any of that stuff. But I made sure I got it to where it doesn't charge me extra if I get over a certain amount. What good is it if it does that? But I've seen all kinds of things. Over 2 decades ago, I got my first one. I got my first computer in 1982, so I'm not new to this stuff. But anyway, I think that guy probably was. He was still looking at his phone. He was sitting there at a gas thing. I don't get that now. In a gas stall. Unless maybe it just broke down. He's waiting for somebody to come get it. But also, in this direction I'm facing right now, out there, those are white color. And over here, they're gray color sedans. So that's what I'm starting to notice. And I wonder if that's the test mark, because if you can look it up yourself. And I might add this to one. I've already said all this stuff, so if I do, I do. But you can look it up yourself and see what it says. But it's for some other country, I think, that people can have be part of a fleet. Something is, I have no idea. I'm not going to speak as a voice of authority. It's just what I've gathered, and it's still fiction until I find out for certain. That's how it is with anything. You may think you know it all and all that. I don't think I know it all. And But yeah, it's just fiction until you know for certain. So anyway, wrapping it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock right now, and it's looking like we're gonna have bad weather really soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and go home. I don't work after dark, and usually it's not this dark until 9, right before 9. Lately, of course, you know how it goes. But it's looking really dark in the direction that I'm going. It wasn't like that just like a few minutes ago. It's kind of spooky. And of course, I'm having these offers. One of them was, it was supposed to be something like 40-something minutes or maybe, but it was rush hour traffic. It is actually during the 6 o'clock hour, which for some reason in this area it's 6 p.m. It's saying 6 p.m. is like dead. And seriously, anytime I've tried it lately, that's been true. You know, no, hardly any offers. Hopefully this is the road I need to go on. Let's hope. Okay, yes it is. Anyway, I haven't been down this far, I think, as maybe once. Not exactly here. So, oh, I could go. Anyway, you got to see me. Wee. I do that, and Adam cracks up laughing. He's older than I. He thinks it's hilarious. I don't know. But anyway, today the theme, it seems like I have a theme for every day lately, and this one actually was 2 themes. One of them was I didn't work too much. I was out twice, but actually I would say I worked more than I have in a long while, and I don't know how much I made. I just didn't care to look, but I just want to raise my acceptance rate so I can get better ones, and that's working. It actually is working. But today's themes plural, one was really bad restrooms. I'm talking, one of them actually, and this happens quite a bit, will smell, you know, like the restaurant itself, and quite often the restroom will smell like natural gas. I guess it would collect more in the, like a small restroom. So, and usually it's across from the kitchen. But far too often restaurants smell like, you know, like I said, natural gas. Like somebody didn't light the pilot right or something, or whatever, if they still use those, I would think so. But really bad. One of them I went to the other day, and I told them, I generally tell them if somebody's there. Not always can you see anybody at all in the restaurants these days, because people don't even eat in them. And anyway, I told it was, and I think it's run by a family, and because I've seen other members of the family, and it was the dad about my age, I'd say, and the woman I told, she said, "Dad, listen to this," you know, and she spoke Spanish to him, and he was asking me where, and he then basically let me know that it's happened before, and he doesn't know why. So, okay. But anyway, so that was one of the themes. The other one was like, I've had this happen that I've delivered, and the roads are nice, you know, like this. The roads are nice, the neighborhoods are nice, and then all of a sudden, like I'm not like this road, but one that cuts off of it, still nice and everything. I'm driving, all of a sudden, boom, it all changes. I mean, it's like no warning whatsoever. And how would they warn? Say, hey, the road's about to get really bad? And the roads are bad. The roads are nothing like this. They're just asphalt, and pretty bad asphalt. That's quite often too. No lights to light up the streets, no lines, no curbs, no anything that you would think of. And it's dangerous. Like they have really bad drop-offs, like, you know, you go off the road, slide, and game over kind of thing. Well, that happens, and I was worried that where I was, the last 2 I took, I worried that was going to happen, because going into them, the one before this last one, going into it was kind of, yeah, iffy. and those kinds of roads, but not like way out in the boonies. You know, sometimes it's, I'm gonna stop here. Sometimes way out in the boonies. I'm gonna, yeah, that's it. I'm right to the left of me is South Fork Ranch. You know, the one on Dallas, South Fork Ranch. Yep. Now I'm oriented. But I was already anyway. It's kind of chilly now, but that's getting scary. Yeah, the weather. Anyway, that was the first one. And the main one was the restrooms, because, you know, I was out twice. And I take 2 diuretics. I know that's personal, but he probably wanted to know, well, why are you visiting so many restrooms? When you take 2 diuretics a day, yeah. The doctor prescribed and said you must, yeah. I do not know what these are. See that in the road right there? What are those? What are they for? You know, this is a really wealthy county. It's very conservative, but they are definitely taking advantage of Biden's, what it's called, infrastructure. You know, they definitely are. Man, there's road construction everywhere you turn. So, yeah, they're really taking advantage of that. And this house right here, I would be scared to live there. Oh my goodness, that's so scary. I don't know if you saw it. But anyway, so the second one. The second one was that I was talking about the second one. That it was the opposite of that I mentioned. The one that you thought suddenly the roads turn really bad. Instead, it's like these are hidden, really nice homes. Okay, this is, I only say this because it's a matter of fact. This one is the #1 wealthiest county in Texas. Texas is huge. And then, but it sometimes, depending on, I think it's the population or how they want to judge it. There's another one that they say, well, that one's the #1. No, this one's the other #1. Whatever. I'm just saying that because it's very wealthy, you know. And you wouldn't think that you're driving along and all of a sudden, boom. This stuff is scary, let me tell you. It is scary when you're just driving along and all of a sudden the roads change and everything. And when I was going to that one before this last one, like I was saying, the roads were kind of iffy, and I've been out there before. It's sashy. And now I call it sashy, and I have always called it sashy. And I knew a woman that lived there, and that's what she called it. So whatever the residents say. But my AI was calling it sash. I'm like, what? Okay. But some of the roads around there, you know, the main one's 78. Well, I don't know if that's a highway. I don't go out there unless lately, since I've been doing these deliveries, I go out there. I've been out there, I don't know, a handful of times maybe. So anyway, but I'm going to go ahead and go home. And the last one I just delivered was a Mullah's burger, and it smells so good. My SUV still smells like Mullah. I cannot eat. I can't eat too much out anymore. You know, so I got to watch my sodium, and so I don't eat too much. I started to do that again. I said, stop doing that. Stop doing that. But I'm gonna go home and cook something for. Well, it is 8:09, and yeah, I'm diabetic. Take insulin, all that. Yeah, better go home and eat. But take my insulin. I take 3 a day. Anyway, I'm giving out so much personal information. Maybe I do need to go eat. I actually had a little chocolate, so a little bitty, what is it called? Ghirardelli chocolate. So I should be okay. I think this is where it is. I cannot believe how dark it's getting. And it doesn't look like there's clouds. It just looks like it's getting dark, but it doesn't get dark until 9. So we shall see. Okay, I do want to mention something before I forget it. I don't ever say which one. I try not to say which app I'm using at what time. I have more than one, you know. But this one in particular, I realized before today, I've realized this, but it has been a while. But it's kind of like the AI has to complain about something. I'm like, what the crap? Like it said that I have a, when I first started, the first order, I was on the phone with their support, and one came through, and I guess the young woman was new to it also, and then she had to wind up canceling, but she put it as I canceled it. An order had come through while we were on the phone, and I would click the button, or when I was calling them and it clicked the button and it did it, I didn't know how to cancel it, and I was trying to find from her, not cancel it, but whatever, and not accept it, and it went through. And to this day, I wonder about that. And then the next one was they sent me to a compound, not kidding, to deliver a package. As it turned out, months later, or a long time, well, quite a bit later, I realized that it was the app was messing up because there was a canal there, and it was supposed to be to a restaurant, but it would tell me to go to the canal, and then it would tell me to turn left, past it, which was a compound. Yikes! It was scary. I did not go in the compound. That's why I left and went to a church down the road and called to cancel. It took like 30 minutes that day to get somebody to cancel that, and for me to tell, hey, that's dangerous. And it was dangerous. They had signs of danger, Will Robinson. Yeah, kind of thing. Oh, scary. But anyway, they so it gave me a, whatever it's called, lowered it, and it said it on front screen. It said, or whatever screen it was. They have changed it somewhat, but it let me know that I wasn't up to the 100%. That they put it against me. First 2 orders. Okie dokie. Then I've done, I don't know, maybe 600 or somewhere around there. I don't know. I don't even know where to check, I guess. I probably could. I think I have before. But anyway, so so then I got it up to, I guess I did 100, and I had all complete, all whatever they called it. Only had one that still would hang there. This one is still, after all these, still one. Just one. And so they don't complain about that anymore. Instead, they complain about something else. The ways they rate you. And it, puts it up there, lets me know. And, okay, there's some kids. And then I guess I just, my acceptance rate or whatever it's called, I got that up to high enough today. And so then it went to another thing it's complaining about. And that has not changed. That's the way when people give you a thumbs up, rate you like on whatever. Mine is high. It's never changed, and people seem to like me. But it's not even, like I said, I have 600, and I probably don't even have 60 ratings, and only 4 of them are bad. And I know which ones they were, like the one that he was ordering a special kit, and his house was scary. We're talking big time scary. He let everything, kind of like a compound, but somewhere else, not a compound. And I was not about to go to his door, which was hiding around the corner, and he had like floodlight. What do they call those big lights? And why did this thing cut off? Oh, my car does that. My SUV. Anyway, big lights and those floodlights, and he made his views well known. And no, I wasn't going to go up there. It had a wire across the place, and just so many just disturbing. I've seen other ones kind of like that, and I went ahead and did whatever. But that one was very disturbing, and he took away my tip. It was like a whole $1 or $2. I did not care. He gave me a whatever it is, whatever they have to do, however they rate it. And one was a woman that I didn't know. I was just started. I didn't know that they can send text while I'm driving. I didn't hear it or whatever it was. And it was to not knock on the door, even though it said it to ring the doorbell, not knock, but ring. And I didn't know that you could check them and all that. And then she apparently got ticked off, and she gave me that bad rating. But she came out the door dressed in a bunny suit. So, and then the other two, what were they? Well, two of them, I just, like I said, had just started doing, with all these, I had just started doing. And I think what I did was I did a stacked, or whatever they call them, when you have two, and I reversed the delivery because they had reversed the delivery. And I went to the one I accepted. The one I accepted, and they put an add-on to it, and it's still my fault, but they put them in the other order for me to deliver. And I just started, didn't know it would do that. So, but it's still my fault. I should have checked. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.